Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Build a, build a, build a. Sound money, sound money. All right. Hey,
Well,
go ahead.
hey, Ugly. We're sorry, guys. Ran late today. So we're starting what is it now? Like
Oh yeah,
11,
we're late,
20?
late. So,
Late,
but we had a
yeah.
lot of good excuses
Sorry.
today, didn't we? So
Yeah, we did.
So anyway, we started out. I come in here at 5 in the morning, 5:30, and we got no. I can't open the garage door.
Oh wow.
We got no.
Yeah. It came like really quick.
No
in the
power,
morning.
no electricity went
Exactly.
down, and so then, and I didn't have. We changed all of the doors, got new security doors in, so I didn't have. I couldn't even get in places. And then you had a commitment. You had to blade a friend because you needed some blood about 6 months ago, and now that you have a friend that needs blood, so you need to take care of that first. And
I'm good. Didn't feel a thing. I went with a couple friends from my neighborhood, and one of the guy's girlfriends actually started to feel woozy and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was there for a little while.
Oh, from giving blood.
Yeah, from giving blood. Yeah.
What's going on? Somebody getting surgery?
Yeah, someone's getting surgery. I get something. He was sliding into second or third. I don't think I remember which one. It was.
Oh, baseball.
Yeah, and so he was sliding into second or third, and he messed up his leg. So now he's having surgery. The idiot.
I'm glad.
He says he didn't feel anything. He said I didn't feel anything, man.
But you never do.
Yeah. After that, he said his leg was like really, really swollen.
Oh
like
yeah,
huge.
no. You tear your whole body apart,
Yeah.
and your guts can be spilling out. And you don't feel a thing. That's the shock that your body kind of protects you against. It gets painful later on, though. So, yeah. So, this was kind of a good drill because, we live down here in Mexico, and it's kind of, everything's getting a lot better. Like when I first came down here, the credit card systems worked about half the time. Now they work 98%,
Maybe
most
because
of the
now
time.
they know you now.
Well, the machines at the gas
okay.
station and so forth, they've got their infrastructure is getting a lot better. But we needed this drill too because, guys, we actually have a generator down there, and we could have started up, and we need to see if that works. In other words, if the power goes out, is our generator big enough that we can do these shows?
I think, it is different now.
Yeah, we need to test it.
We didn't have as much as before.
Right, we got a lot more going on here. And I want to introduce my son, Alonso. We call him Borrego.
Where is he?
Show your face somewhere. Because all the ladies will want to get, this guy can play some soccer, and we call him Borrego because of that head of hair he's got. And, but he loves playing computer games, but he needs to start learning how to be productive, and so he wants to stay at our old house. He's kind of got a man cave upstairs and great internet, and he's got a great gaming thing. But I said, yeah, but if you're going to stay, you're going to have to, you got to work for your rent at least. So he wants to learn all this technical stuff we've got in here. He was the one that crashed our you went down to the Baja de Los Angeles, and you were the one that crashed our drone, right? Yeah.
Is that the one that flew into the ocean?
Yeah, that's the one that flew. That was our pilot that flew it into the ocean.
Wow. It landed in the ocean, right?
Ran out of battery, and there she landed right between the beautiful spot. So we had to replace that drone. We got another one because we're going to be covering this event, of course, with our drones. And we've got a new studio we're building downstairs, but that's one thing we need to check out, Alonso, is we need to make sure if the power goes out, if we have a big enough generator to get everything back up again. And the same with the other house. So we need to make sure, because hopefully, we haven't had the power go out for 6 months, and it was just for a few hours, but we want to have that backup. So, because particularly if we have workshops down here, and they need to get they need to get their internet and so forth. So we need to check all that out. I'm glad this happened because we want to.
You never know what happens.
I'm telling everybody we're dotting our I's and crossing their T's because this conference that we're doing is got a lot of moving parts. And it's got logistical things, people coming in at different times. We're picking them up and getting them back.
Right.
And people are coming down here for vacation. Some are just staying for the conference. And so it's really a great thing, and we'll be actively promoting the conference this week. And so I
Right.
do. If you don't have a ticket, get your ticket.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be one of those good conferences. Good speakers, a lot
Well,
of
it's gonna be.
content.
They're already. I know. These panels are. They're putting together. I think these moderators are going to have their hands full because how do you
Right.
moderate something like that? You got all
Yeah.
this variety of opinions, so we are
Right.
encouraging that the panelists all submit papers, with their views ahead of time, and
Yeah,
then
that'd be
the
nice.
and then the moderator kind of understand their background and ask them each a different question, and because they're only going to get on each panel maybe
Couple minutes.
yeah 5-10 minutes to
All
speak,
right.
but we know where everybody's coming from, and hopefully
Right.
we
Right.
can
Right.
direct the appropriate questions, and then we throw it open, of course, to all the attendees too. So it's almost like you're a panelist, and it's
Right.
hanging out here. That's just incredible.
It's just a nice place to hang out with good vibe, good content,
Right.
and nice speakers.
And we have right now. You want to go? You go to the website and show them what it is.
All right.
It's with the full package is what I'm really. I
No, the
really
full ride.
Yeah, full ride. We need to change that. I haven't changed the name of that. We want to call that full ride because it's got an adventure tour on it. So I got to. I got to get. Don't let me forget. I need to get Shively and haven't changed that. But we want you to get the full ride, and basically you're coming in on August 11th, and you're spending the night on the 11th, and you got the conference is the 12th and the 13th, and then on the 13th, which is Friday, we take you out to the Horsepower Ranch, have a barbecue. We get up the next morning. Now you can party that night and go later, but if we're going to have that Horsepower Ranch adventure tour, and then have a big party that Saturday night and breakfast on Sunday, and then get you all back home. Now there are people that are going to be staying down here taking a vacation, and you can do that too. We don't cover that, but we'll cover you while you're here. I know there's a group of people that are going to Bit Block Boom, and they're going to come in here first and then go up to Texas, but they want to spend the time in between down here in Mexico, which I think is a great idea. We've got other people that are planning trips all the way down the Baja.
Check out the panelists.
And there's our panelists. Of course, we got Tone Vase and Jimmy Song and Giacomo. Those are kind of but we got some superstars. I mean, really superstars. Not just those guys. We got uh, David Poel, which he's one of the best fundamentalists. We got Knut is coming from Sweden. Of course, we got Juan Galt, who you guys all know because he helped me during the COVID crisis, and the only guy that can be master of ceremonies is a genuine
Mad
Bitcoin,
Bitcoins.
and that's Mad Bitcoin because he started most of these guys out.
Yeah.
And then we have Derek Walchuk. I've never met Derek, but he's one of the co-authors of Thank God for Bitcoin. We did have Bitcoin Mechanic on. He's coming with his family, and that's just going to be great. I've got our old friend Gabriel Devine. Again, he was one that started with Mad Bitcoin on World Crypto Network, and Robert Allen, who does Bitcoin and Friends. We have Daisy, who was a panelist on our last one. She's
Right.
a
Right.
professional photographer. She organizes other events. I know for Tone does all kinds of things. We got Mir Laponi, who's Giacomo's wife. And then we have our own in-house, Victor Villacana.
Yeah,
And
the
he
equity
is
app.
the equity app designer. And Guy Swan, who we just did a real fun interview with. Wow, the goat lady, look at that. She brought us a picture. Can you believe that? And now that's coming just to look at her. It's worth coming. Then we got Bitcoin Motors, who's going to be our moderator, and I think a panelist too. Zazo is coming in. Gabe Higgins, he's one of the co-authors of Thank God for Bitcoin. Lamar Wilson, never met Lamar, but he comes highly recommended from Jimmy Song. And we got Muzz coming, and he's been active in a lot of these Bitcoin seminars, particularly Unconfiscatable.
Oh.
And he's been doing lots of new stuff, and so we wanted him to come. And then we have Jimmy Clover, who is a Bitcoin Standard, a Ugly Old Goat member, and he actually lives in the southern part of the Baja, so he's going to be covering his activities down there. He's actually got a ranch down there, and with water, and And I know there's people that go in after the conference going down with him. Then, of course, we have Joe Satz, and hopefully we have a couple sponsors coming. So the sponsors
Yep.
we have room for them. But that's it. Guys, I've had to turn down people that have, they were too late responding, and we're just full. I mean, I can't do any more than
Yeah.
what we're doing. Uh, so that's it. I've had to close it down. If you're really interested, we do have. You can go up there and hit the about. We
About.
still have. I think I got one or two. I, I'm negotiating with the panelists or the sponsorships. Whoops, not the about. Go up. Which one is a panelist? No, which one? The one that's go to about again. Say become a sponsor. There you go. Hit that one. Okay. So we only have 5 available. Three are spoken for, so pretty well. So I have one, probably 2 left, but when it closes, it closes. Uh, so
All right.
because we only have room for 5 booths.
So what do we get?
So they'll get
What do they get,
basically they get everything. I mean,
Oh,
that's
wow.
just and they get you know they'll we'll give them 2 panelist spots and we'll put their logos on everything that we do. So any rate, they can look at that, but that should be closed out very quickly. Okay, so I think we're done there, and we can go check the amount. Hit the panelists, and we'll just hit any of the panelists, and you can get a 15% discount off of the prices. So hit.
Let's go Mad
Go hit Mad Bitcoin. Hit Thomas Hunt. If you like Thomas Hunt like I do, and you want to get 15% discount off your ticket, just go to his picture. That's where he's at. He's a master. He's a master. We need to change that. He's master of ceremonies. He's not he's a moderator. Oh, there it is, master of ceremonies. But to register for the conference, you just hit that register, which takes you to the purchase thing. And I think, okay. Now
yeah,
do your
no
scroll down. There's your scroll down, and all the packages are there. The full ride is what we emphasize, guys. Right now, you can see how much that is. You get a 15% discount, so it's $19.95 for 4 nights and 5 days. But you get 15% off, so that takes you down to $16.95. So you really can't beat it. It's called, and you have accommodations for 2 people, and that's it. You only get 1 ticket, but you will at the hotel. You'll get accommodations. And they might have to charge if you want to do the adventure tour for 2, you'll have to pay some extra for that. But that's the way it works. That's what we recommend, and that's it. So let's get on. I wrote a little book that we hope to have printed in time, and I'm kind of proofreading it now. I'm not going to read the whole thing today because it's not long, but it's too long for a show. So we'll go through maybe 1,000 words. I think it's about 3,000 or 4,000 words is all. But it's how to put yourself on the Bitcoin standard. And of course, I teach HODL, Save, and Builda. And the first thing you do is you HODL, guys. If you don't have a HODL, then you need to start HODL. This book is written for a very specific audience, those who have no Bitcoin. All right. So I want to keep this simple because I'm kind of a simple guy and try not to keep things too complicated. If they can't explain it to me so I can understand it, I'm a pretty good gatekeeper because if I don't get it, a whole lot of other people aren't going to get it. So my personal success is centered on the idea of keeping things simple. Put simply, there are only 2 kinds of people in the world, those that have Bitcoin and those who do not have Bitcoin. So we got the haves and the have-nots. Do you have Bitcoin? If your answer is no, this little booklet and the Bitcoin Standard Starter Kit is for you. And we are starting a starter kit. And it's got this little booklet in it. We've got Thank God for Bitcoin in it. We got Kurt Svanholm's book. And we've got Bitcoin Rabbi's
Mm-hmm.
cartoon book. We're going to be putting in the the jade wallet on that thing. We ordered. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Oh, man.
we'll be the
Guys,
first
you're
one on that.
getting- oh, wow.
I've had good reviews. I hope I'm not making a mistake because sometimes they have these new wallets and then they find a little bug in them. There's
Right.
but hope this is pretty good bet. It should be a pretty darn good wallet. So, and the book will outline how to build wealth slowly and safely by adopting the Bitcoin standard in daily living. The Bitcoin starter kit gives you all. Whoops, scroll down. This is kind of more like an info book. It sounds like, doesn't it? Gives you all the tools needed to get started. What is taught in the book are 3 simple ideas put to a song and dance. Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Build a, build a, build a. Sound money. Sound money. Now, sound money brings liberty. And there's a picture of Elizabeth Courier. She was a sound money. I'm sure she's passed on now, but 40 years ago, she was a leader in the sound money movement when we're trying to restore a gold standard. Bitcoin alone has the potential to be sound money. How does an ugly old goat best advise new Bitcoin arrivals who are eager to enter the market? Those entering the market to participate in the global sound money transition but don't know where to begin? Well, my first task is to get you into Bitcoin and Bitcoin alone. And that can be very difficult since 90% of the information on Bitcoin on the Bitcoin and 99.9% to 100% of the crypto world are scams. And millions are spent daily to lead you into these scams. Just yesterday, I don't know, I wrote this several months ago, but the goat lady and I were on an adventure tour when a young man of obvious second or third generation wealth proudly informed me he followed Elon Musk and bought Dogecoin last week. Another one of these youngsters told the story of a friend in Mexico City who wanted to buy $1 million of Bitcoin but could not figure out how to do it. What this book is not. This book will not tell you how to buy Bitcoin. This book is not going to tell you where to buy Bitcoin. This Bitcoin will not tell you how to safely store Bitcoin. This book is designed to keep things simple, help you understand why Bitcoin alone has the potential to be sound money, and guide you with a vision of what the future will look like should this potential for sound money be realized. Bitcoin alone is the innovation. Bitcoin alone has the potential to emerge as sound money because Bitcoin alone is the innovation. This is a difficult concept to swallow, both from a technology perspective and an economic perspective. My background is economics. I don't pretend to understand the back end of Bitcoin. Few do, and most of those who claim they do are pretenders. Just as I do not need to understand the back end of a nuclear power station to enjoy the power it generates, it is not necessary to understand the nuts and bolts of Bitcoin to benefit from the monetary power it generates. Now, I purchased my first Bitcoin in August 2013, just under $100. It took me 5 years and intense research and contributions from others, along with hundreds of Bitcoin worth millions of dollars today, before I was persuaded that Bitcoin alone is both a unique technological and monetary innovation. Now, I'm the first to confess that I may be mistaken, but according to the Lindy effect, this becomes more unlikely with each passing day. I'm coming at you from the point of view of a Bitcoin standard bearer with an extensive background in sound money and expensive lessons learned. This is not to say a replacement may not come along. It may. Just as Bitcoin is replacing gold as sound money, something may come along that is better than Bitcoin. But there's no need to promote it or advertise it. I'm from Missouri. Just show me. Don't tell me. It is that simple. The difference between the Bitcoin standard world and the crypto world is the Bitcoin standard world recognized Bitcoin as Nobel laureate F.A. Hayek's standard. The crypto world does not. In April 1986, Hayek recognized 2 decades before Bitcoin was discovered just how such a new standard would come about and even gave it a name, the standard. And here's quoting from him from this article. in 1986, the ideal name for the new unit of account, clearly making its function universally intelligible, would be the proverbial term standard, or rather obvious name. However, so far, never been used as a designation of a particular monetary unit. But even with such implicit stability, Hayek uh, did not anticipate its usage in retail trade. He is quoting Hayek again. It seems probable that for a long time the use of such a common international unit of exchange at least be used chiefly in wholesale or other large-scale transactions, although including also much expenditure on travel. I do not contemplate that the standard will be used as pricing in retail trade for local business coins and notes and even some checks or credit cards. A local currency will remain indefinitely preferred. And I agree with this completely. Uh, some people don't agree with me or Hayek, but at least you know where I'm coming from. But Hayek goes on, but I would anticipate that once such a unit exists, it will become increasingly the unit of long-term business contracts. Contracts will be made in standards. The future value of which I suggested in Denationalization of Money, that gradually the courts would come to interpret all contracts as intended to be expressed in a stable monetary unit so that the difficulty of uncertain value of contracts disappears. To the outside world, Bitcoin standard bearers are lumped together with scam artists, fraudsters, liars, hypocrites, and deceivers, parading under the banner of Bitcoin. That is why the Bitcoin standard is distinguished from the crypto world. Bitcoin alone is blockchain. Bitcoin stands alone. All other wannabes are crypto because Bitcoin stands alone as the most secure network, the longest chain with proof of works, with a fixed supply, 21 million, that solved the problem of counterfeiting. Bitcoin cannot be confiscated so long as you own the keys. Bitcoin can be easily transferred through national borders. Bitcoin is censorship resistant and Bitcoin is decentralized. While these qualities are understood in monetary theory, it took time for these qualities to be recognized in the marketplace. As these qualities are well recognized and use cases are developed, the increasing value is imputed on Bitcoin. That's why you've seen Bitcoin go from $100 to $60,000. In my personal experience, the quality that Bitcoin cannot be confiscated is the most important because once explained, it is easily understood by my vendors, contractors, suppliers, employees, and friends. To introduce the use case of Bitcoin, I often ask, what do you own that cannot be taken from you? It seems simple at first. Well, my house and my car are paid for, so they are mine. But that's not my question. So I ask you again, what asset do you have that cannot be confiscated? Your car, your house, money in the bank, gold, silver, cash, real property? Asked in this way, the light bulb turns on. Just because these are yours does not mean they cannot be taken from you. Money in the bank can be seized. Businesses can be nationalized. Your land redistributed for others. Cash can be stolen, as well as gold and silver. Further, these assets can be and are often taxed. The land is trapped in national jurisdictions. National currencies are often limited or blocked between borders. Tariffs and embargoes are often imposed on goods crossing these borders. Bitcoin is the only unconfiscatable asset, borderless, secure, and able to transfer wealth privately so long as only you alone possess the private key. We live in a world where private property is less and less respected. We live in an entitlement society where technology is combining with political movements to confiscate private property, censor, and direct social movements. We live in societies where inflating national currencies is rampant and used as evil means to reach these evil ends. We live in jurisdictions where regulation stifles vision and creativity. Putting yourself on the Bitcoin standard is not a get-rich-quick scheme or promise to riches. It is simply a way of putting your operating capital or personal treasury on the best potential foundation to put yourself and build with others a sound money economy. By putting yourself on the Bitcoin standard, you give yourself an edge over those who have no Bitcoin and the ability to teach others about sound money principles just as I'm teaching you. The phenomenon, anticipated through Bitcoin technological theory and Bitcoin monetary theory by early adopters, is now being recognized by business mogul visionaries like Michael Saylor and Elon Musk. Bitcoin is dynamic monetary energy at rest,
Yeah, sorry. There you go.
locked in a box with your private key waiting to be unleashed at an opportune time at your personal command. The dollar, or all fiat currencies, are static energy at rest, rushing headlong towards its intrinsic value of worthlessness, duplicated by others, easily confiscated, held in a shoebox, often handed to a trusted friend, bank, constantly depreciating to its intrinsic value of worthlessness. For now, just trust an ugly old goat who's been around the block more than once and competed in more than one rodeo. Bitcoin alone is sound money, or has the potential. That's a better phrase. It has the potential. It's not sound money yet. It has a potential. What is sound money? If we had sound money, we would not need Bitcoin. It is because we do not have sound money that makes the innovation of Bitcoin dynamic monetary energy at rest. Again, keep it simple. To keep it simple, gold is historically sound money because gold is relatively scarce compared to other commodities. Gold is divisible, gold is transferable, and gold is fungible. Since the creation and the emergence of tribes, nations, and civilizations, gold has been crowned by mankind with relative stable value. But if we go back in time, gold, like Bitcoin, had no value. Wow, really? Yeah. And the same can be said of all things. Water had no value before Adam and Eve and human thirst. Sheepskin had no value without human nakedness and the coming of shame. My point is, there was a day gold had no value. None. Just like Bitcoin. The value of these things is imputed in the marketplace by men for any number of reasons, even irrational ones. But what is happening in Bitcoin is rational. Gold, much like Bitcoin, emerged as money of choice and has the longest history as a store of value that transcends generations in even civilizations. And the longer the history, the more it is relied upon as a store of value and standard for exchange. There are other inherent imputed qualities of the gold standard that contributed to the emergence of gold as money. But my point is, these other qualities are not intrinsic to gold, but are qualities or values imputed by the marketplace over time. While gold did not intrinsically change over time gold was imputed with more and more moneyness. And at times, gold was imputed with less moneyness. This can change both in time and location. And again, that's footnoted to some of my other articles. By definition, then, this moneyness is not a constant. While gold is static, the moneyness of gold is not static. Gold was not stuck at its imputed initial value of shininess, but later acquired the imputed value of malleability, jewelry, decoration, fungibility, store value, coinage, technology, a standard of value, a means of trade, and commercial banking. As men are unique, the sole species to be created in the image of God, we have the freedom to choose. This freedom includes what we choose to impute value to as money. There's a picture of my old friend Henry Hazlitt, free choice of currencies. He sent me that picture. He says, I don't have any pictures of me being young, just the old. But at any rate, historically, gold is the best qualified store of value. An ounce of gold purchased a fine suit of clothes at the turn of the 20th century and does the same today. This imputed store of value is acknowledged even in Old Testament scripture. Now, Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. Archaeological records reveals gold's imputed value as money transcends both nations and entire civilizations. Historically, the U.S. dollar has been fixed to a specific weight in gold. In 1971, President Richard M. Nixon closed the gold window. Dollars could be redeemed for $35. Today, the dollar price of gold is approximately $2,000. Measured in dollars, gold gained 57 times in 57x in the past 50 years. Yet, if the U.S. dollar should completely disappear as money, an ounce of gold is still an ounce of gold. And there's a little history of the price of gold. Because there is no intrinsic value, but only imputed value, the moneyness of gold and Bitcoin constantly changes. At times, gold increased in moneyness, at other times, it decreased in moneyness, like when it transcends civilizations or when world governments abandoned the gold standard. While gold is static, the gold standard is dynamic. Bitcoin is 13 years old, just reaching puberty. Bitcoin has been tested, but is hardly as time tested as gold. Bitcoin, the innovation, was created on January 3rd, 2009. It is unique in that through its infancy, it had no imputed value for nearly a year and a half until May 10th, 2010, when 10,000 Bitcoin were exchanged for 2 Papa John's pizzas. Its imputed value literally grew ex nihilo, or out of nothing. This imputed value has been marked with extreme volatility. Sharp price increases, 10x and even 100x, have been followed by sharp price decreases of 80 to 90%. Did the history of gold have similar volatility in value after it was first discovered? Well, we don't know because we don't have that history, but the evidence certainly suggests so. While the early history of gold price discovery has been lost, the value of other new discoveries in modern history have histories. Land with foul-smelling crude oil bubbling was considered worthless until uses were discovered. As these uses were discovered, the value was imputed upon crude oil. The same thing is happening to Bitcoin. The point is, monetary value theory recognizes that all value is imputed, not intrinsic. All right. Now I'm going to maybe do this one more paragraph, then we're going to stop because I'm not going to read this whole book in one setting. But this is kind of I don't win lots of points within the Bitcoin community because I'm very adamant that Bitcoin is lousy cash and stuck as a store of value. Bitcoin is lousy cash and it sucks as a store of value. Nevertheless, it remains a wise speculation. And while gold is a proven store of value that transcends civilizations, gold has never circulated as cash except in rare and in primitive civilizations. And that's footnoted there to one of the articles I wrote that outlines the history of the gold standard and how it's never really been used as cash. It's been used for settling contracts. Bitcoin is lousy cash and sucks as a store of value. While originally Bitcoin was used as cash for purchase of pizza or a cup of coffee, it soon became apparent to users that Bitcoin was a new asset in its own right, worth saving, not spending. For the past decade, there has been an in-house debate on whether Bitcoin is primarily a store of value or a peer-to-peer cash system. It kind of reminds me that back in my day, 20, 35, I don't know when they stopped those, but they used to have these Miller Lite beer commercials, and it was all done in fun to promote their new product, and they had this thing, tastes great, no, it's less filling, and but that was all done in jest. But this is a very serious debate within the Bitcoin standard movement, and I think it's really misguided because I think the evidence is strong. Bitcoin, it just sucks as cash, and it's not a store of value. I mean, if you bought Bitcoin at $60,000, last April, you're not thinking of it as a store of value. You say, man, this thing's,
Yeah.
I'm lost half of everything I put into it. So, it's not a store of value, guys, and it's not efficient as cash. I mean, I use my credit cards, and that's much more efficient. Now, that may be changing.
Yep.
I just got closed out of one of my big credit cards, and they won't even tell me why. So,
What?
yeah, that's strange, everything that's going on now. That's another reason you want Bitcoin. But yeah, so both gold and Bitcoin have been lousy cash. Yes, they both can be used as cash. And for a brief time in 2013, one Bitcoin could be used to purchase 1 ounce of gold. It did not exceed the price of gold again until 2017. And today, one Bitcoin can purchase nearly 1 kilogram of gold, or the equivalent of 35.274 ounces of gold. So, yeah, Bitcoin has really gained on the price of gold. But in the same way, Bitcoin sucks as a store of value. Those who hold Bitcoin are speculators betting Bitcoin will become a stable store of value at a much higher level than it is today. Again, sharp price increases of 10x and even 100x have been followed by sharp price decreases of 80 to 90%. A Bitcoin purchased in December 2017 at 19,000 was worth less than $4,000 a year later in December of 2018. That's not a store of value. A Bitcoin purchased at $60,000 in April lost half of its value by June this year. That's not a store of value, guys. I'm sorry. It's not. It just isn't. And it's silly to make that argument. Yet the evidence shows hodling Bitcoin in anticipation of the emergence of sound money through unfettered competition on the Bitcoin standard has significant merit in conjunction with a prudent entry plan of dollar cost averaging applied to 15% of one's net worth. The term hodling is a Bitcoin word created in December 18th, 2013, at the peak of a previous bull market in a Reddit article entitled "I Am Hodling." It has grown to mean hold on for dear life. And this in turn evolved into the wise meme, keep calm and hodl. Those who had the discipline to follow a Bitcoin dollar cost average hodl strategy are wise speculators. And success is not a matter of luck. You have no luck if you cannot play the game. Those who maintain a position to play the game will eventually get lucky, and the amount of luck relies heavily on the strategies you develop. This book will hopefully help you develop the winning entrance and exit Bitcoin strategies. Actually, this is more of a booklet. This is an introduction. I can see already that this will be a series of booklets. How can we guide the newbie through these stormy waters and the potential minefields of bad information? How do we guide our business friends, employees, and fellow successful entrepreneurs through a possible slow, grinding market or coming violent tidal waves of paper fiat and eventual hyperinflation or Bitcoinization? The answer lies with Bitcoin dollar cost averaging. And you know what? I think this is a good place to stop.
Yep.
We'll pick this up on Wednesday. I do want to can you pull up the Twitter account? Because I do want to show people. I got in a really good Twitter.
From Santos.
Feed. Yeah, from Ramos. Yeah, and we did a
Hugo
great
Ramos.
interview. Yeah, we did Hugo Ramos, and he did a great interview the other day. And what he's doing is editing it and just taking some of the parts. He pulled a lot of stuff out of me that's kind of hard for me to talk about, but he got it out of me, and he's kind of has developed 3 short teasers. So if you have a chance, go look at those. They're really great. He'll be posting that video too. And I'm hoping he can come to the conference, but we'll see if
he wanted to come.
Yeah, I think hopefully
he'll make he does.
It. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I will continue this thing. I'm hoping to get this little booklet printed up in time for the conference. I doubt if it'll have all that ISBN and all that. It'll probably just be a real collector's piece.
Nice.
I'll have it in my house. Needs to do some editing. That's why I'm kind of reading it out loud, because there's some little rough spots in there that I don't like. So, but thanks for tuning in, and
see you Wednesday.
Yeah, see you Wednesday. Well, actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow with the Goat Lady.
Yeah,
right,
Goat Lady and
right.
I'll be on.
But I'm saying,
and hopefully
for the read through, see you Wednesday. Is what I mean.
Right.
Right.
So.